What's up, Foundation? What's up, YouTube? Man, it's me, your big partner, Cartoon 5.3, the Village Storyteller. Man, and I'm back again, I'm back again for another installment of Here Comes the X.clan. Man, we gonna pick up right where we left off at, man. Y'all seen where Hemlock and Strychnine have come together to form the mega creature called Cyanide. Boom. He rushed. They rushed. Man, look, they going at it. They going at it. The Cyanide come down with the axe, and he want to split. He wanted to split the Pharaoh in two. As the axe coming down, the Pharaoh he puts up his rods to block. Them rods wasn't gonna be strong enough to stop the axe swing from Cyanide. But right before it hit, if this was the pole of it, boom, a hand caught it. And stopped it in mid-flight. Cyanide looked, Zulu standing there, muscles bulging everywhere, got it in his hand. He pushed it back. When he pushed it back, he cocked back and fired. Boom! Sent Cyanide clean across the floor. And when he hit him, he told him, "Not today, partner, not on my watch." So he looked out, Zulu looked down at Pharaoh and told him, "Come on, man, let's get with this." Nefertiti, she had floated up in the air and she had whispered some type of incantations, and lightning strikes start coming down. Boom, boom, boom. And start hitting Cyanide. But unbeknownst to her, she thought the lightning strikes was going to destroy him. But unbeknownst to her, the lightning strikes enhanced his power even more. And he was kind of shook from the blow that Zulu had gave him. But now when the lightning struck him, it revitalized him like how Godzilla do when he get that electricity. And he come up and he come up and he rushed. So when he rushed, he swung. Whew. He swung at Queen Sheba. She ducked up under it and came up under it, and she swung at him with her axe. She missed him though. But when he swung with his axe, he went in a complete circle, and he was so good when he came around with a kick. And when he kicked out, he caught Osiris in the chest. Boom! Knocked Osiris across the ground. Boom! He hit the ground and shook his head, but he got back up. Right as he was getting up, he looked up. Cyanide was trying to come down with the butt of the axe and crush it through his chest. He rolled to the side though, and it went about 2 feet into the ground, into the straight cement. Boom! As he did that, the Sphinx shot across real quick and hit him in the face with both his swords. Pow, pow. Cut his cheek real good. And he hollered, "Arr!" But now, as fast as the Sphinx thought he was, Cyanide was fast. He shot out with his hand real quick and caught the Sphinx by his ankle and just whipped him and came down and boom! Slammed him to the ground. Man, he knocked concrete dust up with the Sphinx. Man, Sphinx was like, you know what I'm saying? And he rolled over and he came over and he cocked back to try to smash the Sphinx. And when he did that, a green liquid, some type of green gooey liquid had hit him, face and chest first, boom, and it knocked him back, and he fell onto the ground. And the green liquid started covering his body. And he was looking, and he seen Nefertiti. She was doing another incantation with her hands. And from her hands was coming this green smoke that by the time it got to him, it had turned into this green goo. And it starts, going all over his whole body, and it starts solidifying hard like cement. And he was like, no, trying to get loose. And Right before it just froze him in place, he flexed. Bam! Shattered it all like glass. It shattered, and when it shattered, the pieces shot everywhere. And Nefertiti, she was speaking. She was like, "He's strong. He's very strong. He's very strong." And they was like, "We know, but we can whoop him." So at that time, the pharaoh, he took his two wands and he crossed them, and he shot electricity out, and he hit cyanide in the back. It knocked him down, but as the stream is hitting him, he still turned around and he looked at Pharaoh, and he told Pharaoh, "It's gonna take more than that to stop me." And he started rushing toward him. Boom, 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 rushing toward him. So right as he was rushing toward him, all of a sudden Zulu just landed on the ground in front of him. He had jumped. Whew. And he landed on the ground in front of the pharaoh. Boom! In a fighting stance. And he told Sinai, "Come on, come on." And Sinai told him gladly and started rushing him. He had his axe in his hand though. When he rushed him, he swung. Boom! He hit Zulu across the chest with the axe, and it knocked him back. Boom! He went into a pole. It didn't cut him, but it hurted him. You know, it should, because it wouldn't cut his skin because of the type of skin he had, but it was like getting hit in the chest with a sledgehammer. And he shook his head. Man, the pharaoh jumped up and he hit cyanide across the face with his hand. Boom! Boom! He ate both of them. Pow! Pow! And he looked back. He say, "Nice try, little man." Boom! He sent the pharaoh flying. He hit the ground. Boom! Boom! So now Osiris like, "I'm sick of this. I'm tired of this." So when Osiris ran up on him, he said, "It's time to die, monster." And so when Sinai turned around, the pharaoh was coming over like this. I mean, excuse me, not the pharaoh, but Osiris was coming around with his staff. And he told him, "By the power of Amen-Ra, I destroy you." And a gold beam came out. Boom! Hit cyanide in the chest and knocked him down. Knocked him flat on his back. He had steam coming up off him, smoke where the laser had hit him. Bow! He shook it off and rose back up like Frankenstein. No, when he rose back up like Frankenstein, Osiris hit him again. Boom! But by this time when he came, he crossed his arms in front of him. And the beam was hitting his hand, and he stood up. He was standing up with it, and Osiris was like trying to increase the strength and density of the beam, and it was driving the cyanide back. His feet driving back, but it wasn't hurting him. So Sinai jumped. He went straight up into the air, and he came down. He tried to come down on top of Osiris, but he missed him, and he swung at him with the axe. Osiris ducked it. He swung again. Osiris ducked it. He came across, and Osiris blocked it with his staff of Ra. When he blocked it with the staff of Ra, he kind of hooked like this here and jerked real hard. And it snatched the big axe out of Sinai's hand. When it snatched the axe out of his hand, he hollered, "X.clan, attack!" And you just seen all the X.clan members coming at him from every different direction, except for Nefertiti. Nefertiti wasn't a physical fighter like that. She did spells. She had did some type of spell, and it seemed like a blue net, like a blue glow came around cyanide, and it was like a net. And it started getting shrinking and getting tighter and tighter and tighter. At the same time, Queen Sheba jumped up and pounced up on his back and started beating him in the back of the head with all four arms, with all four fists. Boom, 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 boom. He taking that, he eating all of that. So the Sphinx with his two swords, he was weaving through his legs and he chopping at his Achilles heel. Bam, 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 bam. He trying to cut his Achilles heel to take his balance and his ability to walk from him. As he hitting him like that, Zulu came back and caught him ran up and caught him with an uppercut on the chin. Boom! It knocked him straight up into the air. When he went up into the air, Nefertiti hit him with a different type spell. And this spell opened up a dimensional portal in the air right above where he was. So when he came down into the dimensional portal. And he caught the dimensional portal on both sides, and he was trying to pull himself out. He was hollering, "No, no!" And oh yeah. So when he was doing that, Sheba had ran at him with her axe now, and she wanted to try to split his skull. But now when she came down with the axe, he caught it with one hand. Bow! When he caught it, but he was still holding on to the side of the dimensional portal. He didn't want to go in it. But he caught the axe with one hand and he snatched it from her. When she went this way and he slung it back this way, her and the axe flew. They flew. And so the Pharaoh, he was finna hit him with the electricity again. And that's when Osiris told him, no, don't. He gets stronger from that. So it looked like he started crawling out like he was finna come back up out of it. And they was like, man, this dude here, man. So that's when Osiris, he told Nefertiti, close the portal. And she was like, he's not in it yet. He's like, I know, I don't care. Just close the portal. And at this time, man, Cyanide was pushing himself up out of it. And she reversed her spell and closed the portal. And when she closed the portal, it cut Cyanide in half. From this part of his body up was still out with them, but the rest of his body had went down into the dimensional portal. And when it closed, it cut him in half, and he hollered, "Ah!" And the top part of his torso tumbled over and fell to the ground. So they were looking, they was like, man, shoo, right? They was like, shoo. And so it disappeared. It was sitting there. The top part of his body was sitting there, and it ended up disappearing and ended up leaving. Turned to smoke and left. And so at that time, Osiris's staff started glowing, and a bright light just appeared in the air, like it was a small miniature sun. And they heard Amun-Ra's voice, and it said, "You have done well, X.clan. You have defeated one of your fiercest foes, but I fear that he is not destroyed." And so they was like, "What do you mean? We just cut him in half." And and that's when the god Amun-Ra told him, he like, you have temporarily stopped him, but you have not totally destroyed him. He will reassemble, and he will be back one day. When, I don't know, but he is one of your fiercest rivals, and you have several more that will start showing up now that the X.clan has returned. I need for you to stay ready and diligent to fight them at all turns, of all faces. And the X.clan came together. They like, man, hey, when they show up, we gonna show out. We the X.clan. Cool. So now, the god Amun-Ra told me, he said, "I'm proud of y'all. I am proud of you, my children. I am proud of you, my children." And he did, and the sunlight, and the ball of light just disappeared. Boop. Okay, and when it disappeared, Osiris talked to him, and that's when he told me, he said, "Man, we're gonna have to stay vigilant. We're gonna have to stay ready. Because if we fighting characters like this here, we're gonna have to come together and practice and get our skills all the way down pat." And they was like, they agreed. So anyway, Foundation, that was one of the fight scenes with them and Cyanide. I'll leave you with that. Peace.